First of all, do you think they'll stick to this promise? And where do you see oil prices headed from here for the rest of the year?
Well, definitely. There's no doubt the current minister, Prince Abdulaziz, is a very, very experienced oil man. He's been in OPEC and in the oil industry in Saudi Arabia for several decades now. And he's very much committed to protecting oil prices. But I think he'll work with the other members of both OPEC and Aramco management in a consensus-building strategy. Yes, oil prices are important, but he's also looking at the long term, and the IPO figure is very big in this. So he's got quite a few challenges to deal with.
Yeah, to that point, Sadad, a number of analysts coming out and saying that his appointment certainly is bullish for oil prices. How bullish is it, though, for this Aramco IPO actually moving forward?
Oh, it's very supportive of the IPO. The IPO is good for Aramco. It's good for the kingdom. It's got a lot of merits to it. It's brought a lot of management transparency. So he's very committed to it. And a higher performance from Aramco will definitely have returns for the kingdom's economy. So I think it's going to be a very positive change in leadership within the oil industry.
Sadad, some reports coming from our own Hugh Sun today that JP Morgan might be set to win top billing on the IPO of Saudi Aramco. My first question on that, though, is the IPO definitely coming in the near future?
I have no doubt that it will be coming, and we're looking still to hear more details from the leadership in the ministry, but no doubt about it.
Do you think they are weighing up JP Morgan? Any insights on that? Do they have particular preferences when it comes to U.S. investment banks?
There'll always be several banks involved because it's too big a project for any single bank to manage it. But JP Morgan has been working with Aramco over many decades, so they really know the company inside out. And if they had to lead a group of other banks, they would be very qualified for that. So I'm sure they're one of the leading banks in this process.
Sadad, meantime, if you do look at the price of oil right now and the rally we've seen, part of this has been developments in Saudi Arabia. The other part of it has been these headlines from out of Israel that the Prime Minister Netanyahu says a nuclear site is newly discovered in Iran and is calling for action against that country. How does this continue to play out? Is there ongoing increased risk of escalation? And if so, what does that mean for oil markets?
Yeah, look, there's no doubt that Iran is a problem and has been and will probably continue to be way through the U.S. elections. I don't see anything happening very soon. But the oil prices are recovering because of seasonal demand. What we have every year is in the fourth quarter of the previous year and then the first couple of quarters of the year thereafter, demand tends to slacken off, and therefore prices suffer. However, when you get into the third and fourth quarter, there's always a strong recovery, and I suspect that's what people are aware of, and that's what's probably propping up prices. It's the seasonality in demand.
All right, Sadad Al-Husseini, thank you for joining us by phone today.